people, I'm going to start this video off by explaining what has actually gone off, because people are still asking what did we get arrested for, and so on. So let me just take 1 second. Right, people, what it is, I went out to try something different to what I normally do, and mainly just because I felt like a caged polar bear. I'm waiting for my car being repaired so I can get back out. Lad's on with it, he's waiting for a gearbox coming. So we went out and we went towards York, and we went to one site near York first, and plan was we were just going to show that all the hype on the news, it's not all correct, is it? Because they're saying that there's these hundreds of sites all over the country, which there is. And Marty Blackbur's been around to hundreds of them. And at all of them, apart from odd one or two down south, of a Manchester way, they had no people in whatsoever. He did one other side of Leeds the other day, Pudsey I believe it was. That didn't have anybody there. First one we went to today were totally shut. Not even any workers. Barriered off correctly. 10 out of 10 for that, guys. I would not have crossed them barriers because there were clear barriers stating we could not enter. Now, at this park and ride one we went to, at, is it Poppleton Park and Ride? See if I can see it on here. My eyes are proper shocking lately, and they seem to be getting worse. Let me just get this light, because this light helps. I'm sorry about that, people, but this helps, so I can see it. This is charges. Surname Taylor, Arthur. My address. All of the formalities at the top. You are charged with the offences shown below. You do not have to say anything unless you wish to, you know, usual crack on that, unless you wish to do so and all that. One, on 11th of the 1st, 2021, at Poppleton Bar, Park and Ride, COVID testing centre site, having trespassed on land, namely COVID testing site, and in relation to a lawful activity, namely testing COVID-19, which persons were engaged in on the land, did not act. namely abusing staff, filming members of public, which you intended to have the effect of obstructing or disrupting that activity. Well, people, first off, we weren't there to disrupt anything. We were there to show that it was totally opposite to what Trump was, not Trump, Prime Minister, I don't even know who he is, because they're that useless. He said there's thousands being done every day. Well, as I've said, Marty Blackburn does these places on a regular basis, and everyone he's been to, including the ones today, had nobody there. In fact, in the 25 minutes we were filming, we only saw 4 or 5 cars. We didn't film the cars, we didn't film the people in them or the registrations of the cars. That's not what we were there for. It was to show the amount of people that was actually getting tested, which were next to none. And even them, they could have been other members of staff or staff's families, because there were definitely more members of staff there. I could count at least 15 security staff, and then the lady boss, and then the other works boss, not the security boss, he's his own boss. And I'd like to say to you boys, we weren't there to upset you boys, we weren't there to show you up, we weren't there to do anything. Just have a bit of crack, show that there's nobody getting there. And then like your man said, he said, right, come on lads. You've had crack, you've got your video. Just do us a favour and do one, will you? Let us do us jobs. We said, we are just doing our jobs, mate. We're not trying to fuck your jobs up. We're not here for that. We're here to show that they're not being tested like them, and so they are. We've all respected well for you guys here working for peanuts. Because you don't get paid proper for them jobs. But you should. And I did say a few things that I shouldn't have. But that was just banter. That was just banter, mate. And when it got out of order, well, when I got out of order, and I called that boss man out, when I called that boss man a muppet, I have got issues. I have got mental health issues. And it's all part of that, why I react the way I'm reacting. And I'm trying to curb all that. I'm not trying to excuse my behaviour, because we did exactly what we went to do. Expose the COVID sites are not in as much use as the government would like us to believe. And when, I'm sorry about this, but it just seems to be a bit off the kilt. What it is, I'm sorry, but you know, after being in there since 12 o'clock, well, 1 o'clock this morning, and then I still haven't been to bed, and then police attacked me on way out. I'll get to that in a minute. I'm sorry, but I'll even show you. If you can, I think that's overdoing it. Yeah, you see there, you can see all the big red bruising, can't you? Well, it's actually swollen up and all that. I'll get to that in a bit. I've got marks on my neck up here where they've had their hands on me, and that were on way out. Going in, that officer that arrested me at COVID site, and little one that were with him, he was actually an arresting officer. They were gentlemen. They were gentlemen. And wanted to listen to what we were doing and why we were doing it. What other things we put up on us channels. I think I'd just like to show you this mask on my top. But that's it. Eyes and mouth with teeth again, look. And the nose. And chin with, I don't know what this is. Is that blood or whatever? I don't know. It looks a bit gory to me. And this big red slash through eye. Don't know what that signifies. And there's this on back as well. It looks good on back. But for me, it's just a bit long. And this is on it large. And I was going to get extra large, but my stepdaughter actually wants it to go out in. She'll just put a belt on it and she'll be off. Right, I'll read these conditions out to you. That was first one. Yeah, I think that's that one. Now this one. This is bail conditions. Not to enter North Yorkshire for any reason other than to attend court. Not to enter North Yorkshire. For a trespass. For a trespass. They're saying aggravated, we're saying not aggravated, and we've got it on video, so it's not guilty all the way, that. And you've just heard that, not to enter North Yorkshire for any reason other than to attend court. Grounds, reason, committing an offence whilst on bail, prevent offending. So they're saying they want to prevent me offending. Are they real? Are they real? I've walked about in a public space with a camera and filmed people that are not there. And then these people are accusing me of upsetting members at public and stopping members at public getting in. What a load of rubbish. Why do you tell lies, mate? If you're going to get me nicked fair and square because I'm doing something wrong, then I'd stick my hands up and say fair and square, mate, I was wrong. But I'm not having it, mate. This time you're wrong. Well, them's my bail conditions. And I'll just read this charge out. On 11th at 1st, 2020, at Poppleton Bar, Park and Ride, COVID testing site, having trespassed on land, namely COVID testing site, in relation to a lawful activity, namely testing COVID-19, which persons were engaged in on that land, did not act. What? I don't get that bit. Did not act. Namely, abusing staff, filming members of the public, which you intended to have the effect of obstructing or disrupting that activity. So they're saying that I was disrupting them from testing people coming in. And she actually said, the lady that was running the site, a Polish lady, a bit sounded accent, if Live Free were there, he could have spoke to her in her own language. So anyway, them security grassed us up. Fair dues, boys. You grassed me up, fair dues, but you shouldn't have lied as well, mate. You've set me up. You've set me up, mate. You're supposed to be the man round Liverpool and that. I've got a lot of respect for you boys down there. I've got friends down there. In a few parts of Liverpool. So anyway, in Wirral, I actually like the place, I like the people. And I like the Mancunians. I know lads from Salford. There's a mate of mine now doing life, he's from Salford. In fact, I used to go to Salford regularly with him. With engine parts and stuff. He used to ship them all over the place, all over the world. Leon. You boys from Salford know Leon, yeah? And that man on Main Road, that cafe, he took us to that cafe, remember? I was driving wagon, remember, mate? And you took us in that cafe that, I believe, I'm not going to say it was yours, because I don't know for certain. But you were definitely connected to that, because we walked in and you told the lady to give us what we wanted, and I'm just going to pause this for now. Well, I'm sorry about that. Don't you hate it when they come and it's people like that trying to sell you gas? Sort your gas supply out and get you a cheaper deal. And I know it makes sense to do that and everything, but what it is with me, I just can't be bothered. So, like I was saying about that lad from Salford, Leon is my mate's name. Well, I came with Leon. He's actually lifed up now, isn't he? He's done a fair few years up to now, and but with all due respect to him, if you can't do the crime, don't. If you do the crime, you've got to do the time. That's it. Sorry. Like I say, it's all been a bit hectic, and a lot of things I said in, and I've been running about like a lunatic, over medicated with painkiller and that, because of what surgeons told me. And first off, I'd like to say a big apology for the way that I behaved, and especially some of the things that I said. To Mr. Smith, at the end of the day, he was doing a job. Fair enough, it does say on site that you can photo and that. And day before, Marty Blackberry and Sherlock Jones had permission of Mr. Smith's boss. So I just thought that he were like discriminating against me in some way. I know he won't, and I know that I was the crank, and I'm sorry about that. And same at the prisons, I've got to be more respectful in the way I speak to people. And we went to a COVID site, and we did the COVID site and had a dodgy bout with security. And then at the end, I think he was boss, said, "Come on, mate." He said, "You've done what you came to do, you've been on site, you've said your piece, give us a break, let us do our job." And I think he were going to. I think Marty were going to as well. And as we were walking back to gates, we actually said that we were going to leave. So pretty shocked and everything when it all happened there, it did. I'd like to have just got in the car and drove off, and then them security guards would have been happy, because they'd got rid of us, they'd done their job. And I'd just like to say to them lads at York COVID site, them security guards were spot on. Our intention wasn't to make anybody look bad. And as I've said, even about it, to the centre at Wakefield, ridings, I said things in there I shouldn't have. I said things on this audit I shouldn't have. I jumped in and I apologised though. And I'm apologising now to the man at ridings. Big respect here. And I don't expect you to believe me. But if you knew me, you actually would. You actually would. I'm not a bad person. And I think that on some of my videos, because a few people have commented that I've done something, when I've actually done something that they've seen me in a different light. So I've sat back and I've looked at what they've been talking about and everything else. And this is what's prompted me to this. I know I hadn't had any sleep and I was locked up at York and I've been up all night. And but I really do mean what I'm saying. I don't want to be the person I am. In one sense I do, because I need to tell my story. But what I'm thinking of actually doing is doing it on like a chat, like things are a bit hectic at the minute. I am going to get back out onto a few police stations. And a few prisons that I've still got to visit, and then I'm going to try to put into practice what I'm saying and be more respectful, even though I'm still saying the same thing. I can be more respectful. I've thought about it and I'm trying different ways to manage panic attacks that I have. I have panic attacks and I'm having more lately because of spinal cord damage I've got. Now, I wanted to get my laptop back, but unfortunately they only give me my gimbal back. I'm glad I've got the gimbal back, but I need the laptop because when you put my phone on it, it's like off kilt, just slightly. Well, I've got this app, and it's from Art of the Guide for the gimbal, and you can download this app, and it brings these meters up and levels, and you can adjust them. It's like that, to level your phone up. Another thing it seems to be doing as well, but it might be because I haven't had it on a proper charge, I don't know, but it seems to be losing charge. It was before, but at first, when I first put it back on, I thought it were alright, and it seemed a bit squarer. So I wondered if it's me not putting phone on to gimbal properly. So I'm going to have a look at that. And it seems to just start turning to whichever direction it wants. But I think that's just a minor problem. Big problem on my laptop, because I wanted to I'm sick to death of talking about these MRIs. And trying to explain that it's the natural instinct to get your house in order because you're dying, connected with anxiety that I suffer. Some days them depressions are that bad. I think it's going to be near on impossible to get myself out of it. And because I've been digging up my past, i.e. approved school, prisons, barstools, and I'm experiencing talking about things that I've had buried for 30 years. Now they're here at the front of my headlight. What it is, I've got myself so I can go out, and I find it easier because my balance is all over the place. If I stop, you start floating about, you know what I mean? It's like when a boat stops and it's trying to take up the wave, you know what I mean? That's what my head feels like. That's what I feel like I'm doing that. Well, I'd like to just say now that I've read my bail conditions out. So I think everybody knows that now I can't even go to North Yorkshire until after the 4th of February. And then I'm going to have a rethink on where I'm going to take the channel. Because I'm thinking that maybe I should carry on what I'm doing with the prisons, the tails and the corruption, and which prisons in particular, but do that from whilst being out and alive, for example. I can go out and just go anywhere and do a live and get my head into whatever prison and sentence and hope that I can do it that way. But as I've said before, I go to the prisons because I can say whatever prison, whatever year. And then them criminals start to come to light. And that's how I get to just let it flow. So I'd like to take this chance to say thank you for everybody following me this year. And once again, I hope that you're going to continue to support me next year. And I'm going to take it as today as my new start and try my best to keep my promise and get back onto my subject and be not disrespectful to, well, not disrespectful to anybody. I never intend to disrespect anybody anyway. When things get said and in a heat of like I'm saying I can't film you, they say you can't film you, then I'm going to stand up because I know that I'm right. And they think the same. So I'd just like to take this opportunity to say, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Thank you for all your support. Thank you very much.